Welcome back here, folks, to the iSports Forum, week 5. Can't believe it hesitated me to figure out what week we're in, but then of course with all the blackouts that have been going on and other situations, it's kind of hard to tell when you're looking to try to figure out what exactly we're looking at here. But nevertheless, week 5, Mother's Day edition of Over 50 Hockey. So happy Mother's Day to all the wives out there, the Over 50 hockey players. But you probably know that it's not going to be as much of a big deal as coming about 4 weeks from now when it becomes Father's Day, the annual Father's Day a weekend edition, where that probably is going to bring us more fans in the seats. I'm Angelo Pontello, bringing you all the live action coverage here at the iSports Forum in Brandon, Florida. And as always, joining me in the booth, Andy Townsend. Andy, what should we expect today from both teams? Well, of course, the Red Army are a team that has always been strong. We've kind of seen that from the get-go. We didn't realize they would be this strong. But of course, the man that's leading them across the way, Jim Thomas. And of course, Jim Thomas, the man that's been scoring all the goals for them. But at the same time, he's also been carrying the load as well. Jim Thomas is the guy that's going to get the job done almost every time for the Red Army. So he's got to play smart. He's got to play with controlled precision. But if he can play it well correctly, there's no telling how much damage the Red Army can do. And of course, some other highlight players on their team: Tom Buckholz, Jim Becker, Mark Walker, Mike Ricci. You know, they're definitely the ones that get the supporting cast in. And you know, as long as those players can step up and help out Thomas, in no doubt in my eyes, the Red Army are going to win this game. Now, quickly over towards the Grey Wolves, though. I mean, obviously, you have to look at the Stallion here, Neil Armstrong. He seems to be the highlight player that makes up the Grey Wolves component. Of course, especially with the way Armstrong finds ways to score, you know, you have to try to give him the puck. But the key thing for Neil Armstrong is, in the event that there's players and breakouts that are coming out, he has to skate back. He has to help out his players. Otherwise, you know, you have a strong component like Armstrong who doesn't come back to help out, and that could be a huge detriment to what has been a lacking defensive, can't even say the word, I don't know if there's a specific word for it, but for a team that lacks and deprives defensemen here, you know, Steve Paganella being the only true defenseman here, you know, you have to try to take matters into your own hands. But again, it's been a problem that they're going to have to be facing all season, is having most of these forwards convert into defenders to try to make the plays and be strong. But of course, that goes without saying. Again, you know, you have some of these other players that got to set up as well and got to be strong. Mark Giacomin for one. Mark Berry, you know, rookie Mark Berry, he's had some potential in him. We've already seen that already. But in terms of what they have to do to step up and make plays in order to try to seek out their first win, that's going to be huge. And of course, that's where it all goes there. Well, this has been the pregame report brought to you by the Power Play Grill, best wings in Tampa. Don't go away. We'll have the face-off to you shortly here. Right back. This is Over 50 Hockey on the Pontello Broadcasting Network. Just about ready to begin face-off. It'll be Neil Armstrong and Jim Thomas that will go off on the face-off against one another. For the Red Army, starting left wing, Mike Ricci, right wing, Jim Becker, defenders back, Greg Bell, and the likes of Larry Rapar. For the Grey Wolves, besides center Neil Armstrong, you got the defenders back in Lou DeMeza and Steve Paganella, right wing Mark Berry, left wing rookie Mitch Starr, which I believe, if you've seen it correctly, I don't know if this is his first or second week, but he's been converted to a forward after lacking in terms of the defensive effort. So we'll see how Mitch Starr can perform here. And the Stallion comes through and he puts it on top and takes it to the barn. We can't even get all the pregame intro stuff, but the Stallion back in business here, and he's looking to make a strong statement against these Red Army team. 30 seconds into the game, and the Grey Wolves have a 1-0 lead. Of course, again, when you start out 0-4 on the season, and especially with the players that they do, you need to try to score as many goals as you can and hope for the best when it comes down to the third period. Red Army not expecting that one to happen, so they're already going to be playing a man down. They're already playing a goal down. Here comes Armstrong using Berry as a pick. We'll fire the shot again. Herman looking to try to take the shot, and there's another goal! You gotta be kidding me. We're not even 1 minute through this game and the Grey Wolves already scored 2-0. Holy cow. Looks like fortunes are suddenly starting to turn around for a Grey Wolf team. I don't know what exactly was being said in the locker room. But between Neil Armstrong striking first and now another goal scoring, the Grey Wolves are looking to make a statement. And of course, they realized too that just last season that the Red Army were in a position where they were about to go out of sync. But this is the part now where you have to look and see if are the Grey Wolves actually going to make a statement here. Lustman gets the pass out to Rick Nader. Rick Nader looking to try to fire the shot. And as for this Red Army defense, I mean, especially for a keeper like Lonnie Herman, this has probably been one of the most shocking starts we've seen from him with the way this game has been going. Yeah, and of course, again, you know, that's very shocking when you have a keeper giving up 2 goals within the first minute. I don't think that's ever been done before, but that is probably a nightmare right now the Red Army are going to have to deal with. And of course, the Red Army, you can look on their bench, they have a full squad showing up against a Grey Wolf team that only has, what's we call it, 8 players that's shown up today, and already they start out strong with a 2-0 lead. So the Red Army are going to have to get their act together to look to try to close the gap here. Mark Walker looking to set up. Neil Armstrong trying to fire the shot, looking for Nader to get the pass off too, and goes just a little out of his reach. Walker now with the puck, working off of Nader. Works around the other way. It's back over to Armstrong. We'll play defense for the moment. Now from Rick Nader back to Ira Lustman. Deflected away by George Butler. Here comes Lustman the other way. Lustman fires the shot, shoots it right into Walker. Giacomin now with an opportunity here, gets it back over to Butler. Armstrong fires the shot. This one deflected off a quick go. This one comes around to Jim Thomas. Here we go, one-on-one against Neil Armstrong. Makes a move. Jim Thomas slips and falls. Here comes a penalty coming up on the Stallion. But what would you do in a situation like that? I mean, it's one-on-one against Jim Thomas. You're doing everything you can. But of course, got to give credit. That's probably the best as you're going to do to try to stop him. And of course, now with the Grey Wolves being down a man, this is now an opportunity for the Red Army to try to capitalize, maybe put some points on the board to make up for that horrific first minute start. Giacomin gets it back over to Bell. Will fire the shot, deflected away by Strader. He'll fall on it for the save. Puck back to Becker, looking back over to Bell. Gets it back to Jim Becker, looking to set up the other way. And Ricci in the right position had an opportunity to fire the shot. Now back over to Becker again. Looks to set up the other way. Finds Thomas, will fire the shot, and it's a glove hand save by Strader. Thomas and Starr on the face-off. This one goes back over to Giacomin, looking to get the shot cleared out. Stopped by Becker. Sets up to Ricci. Fires the shot. Shoots it right into Strader, looking for another opportunity. Now Thomas trying to make noise. Will fire the shot. Shoots it right into Strader, and he falls on it for the save again. Slacker! And now Steve Paganella coming back on the ice to join his team. Face off again for the Red Army. Big opportunity here to capitalize. This one comes back over to Ricci. Fires a shot over the net. Red Army regroups. This one's going to come back over to Bell. Lost control of the puck, and here comes Mitch Starr to try to take the puck away. Back over to Rapar. Finds Ricci. And And taking away now is Lou Demeza. It's 2-on-2. Lightning Lou has a chance to make some noise here. And he'll pass it back over to Star. We'll fire the shot again the other way. Herman trying to knock this one away. He does. Giacomin and company trying to keep this puck alive. Now back over to Jim Becker. Setting up over to Rapar. Deflected off of Star's skate. Now back to Buckholz. Trying to get through Giacomin. He did, but not through Mitch Star. Now back over to Giacomin. We'll fire the shot. Shoots it right onto Greg Bell. Lussman playing it the other way. Here comes an opportunity here for Giacomin. We'll fire the shot. Deflected by Bell's stick once more. Puck back over to Rapar. This one's setting out to Buckholz. Finds Phil Field. Back over to Liebler. Another shot taken, deflected away by Strader. Back over to Liebler. Finds Walker. Red Army looking to set up. And Walker lost control of the puck. Here comes Lussman and finds an open Neil Armstrong. The Stallion trying to make it happen again. Takes a shot knocked away by Lonnie Herman. And he's going to fall on it for the save. Neil Armstrong jumped out in the right position at the right time. Lussman made a nice strip off the puck off of Walker. And again, on a 2-on-0 opportunity breakaway, Lonnie Herman breaks down and he denies Armstrong a second goal on this game. Puck back over to Quicko. Back to Paganella, trying to set up. We'll take the shot, deflected high by Quicko. We'll look to set up over the other way. Gets around George Butler. Stripped loose by Paganella, back over to Buckholz. Buckholz will fire the shot, kicked away by Strader, and this one's gonna go back the other way. Herman signals for the icing call. Jim Thomas and Rick Nader now on the face-off. Red Army still trying to find points on the board in this first period. Quicko's going to skate back for the puck. Quicko still with the puck. He'll finally get this one off towards Madeline. Now back to Paganella. Looks for Lussman. No, just out of his reach. Now it's going to come back over to Quicko. Looks for foul ball just out of his reach. Now back over to Demeza. This one's going to head back into the Red Army end. Jeff Quicko now looking to try to make some noise. Gets it around the referee. Off the boards. This one now open one-on-one versus Jim Thomas and Lou Demeza. Trying to get around him. Jim Thomas does. Looks to skate through, and it's a goal for the Red Army. And they finally put points on the board. And that is exactly how Jim Thomas does it. And he skates right through both Demeza and Arnie Strader. Unbelievable. This is why Jim Thomas is one of the elite players in this league. To make those agility moves off of two players against one-on-one against a defenseman and then off a Strader. You couldn't strip that any more beautifully. And just like that, the Grey Wolves deficit, or the Red Army deficit's cut to 1 goal. And now it's up to the Grey Wolves, led by Neil Armstrong, to try to recreate another minute of scoring 2 goals within a short time period. And here comes Jim Thomas the other way. Looking to get off the Ricci, just out of his reach. This one back around the other way, now sets up to Demeza. Back over to Barry. Hits the referee. Will control the puck for Jim Becker, and the referee will halt play. Referee that time saw that the net was off balance, and he must have been a magnet too, because it's been hitting him all period so far. Never seen that happen before. Grey Wolves will make a substitution. Steve Paganella checking in for Demeza. And it'll be Armstrong and Liebler on the face-off. This one coming back to Giacomin. Will fire the shot, deflected by Bell. We're going to get this one around the other way. Finds Ricci. Looking to set up the other way. Becker will skate for the puck. It's 2-on-1. Only Giacomin back. Looking to fire around the other way. Strader kicks it away. Mitch Starr looking to set up the other way. Intercepted by Becker. Sets up back over to Ricci. Giacomin now with the puck. Gets it off to Barry. And now it's Rapar skating after the puck. Off the boards. Armstrong trying to keep this one forward, but instead it's taken away by Mike Ricci. 4.5 minutes remain in the first period. Grey Wolves making a quick lineup change. Giacomin will pass it back around towards Paganella. This pass off the boards. Buchholz picks up on the puck. Buchholz on the right side, taking the shot deflected by Giacomin. Field trying to finish. This one's going to come back around to Quicko. This one's going to slide back for an icing call. (4-1) in the first period. 2-1 Grey Wolves lead. And perhaps maybe on Mother's Day is when the Grey Wolves will finally get their first win of the spring-summer 2015 season. Well, you can't hold your breath too much on this one, Angelo, because again, it is a tight game at the moment. DeMeza finds the pass over to Lussman, gets it out to Rick Nader into the Red Army zone. Passes it back to Butler. Butler fires the shot. Not exactly sure where that shot was going, but that one completely missed the net that time. Liebler on the move. Will find an open Tom Buchholz on the left side into the Grey Wolf zone. Only Paganella back to defend, and he gets in the right position, and he'll make the play. Deflected right off a Phil Field stick, and he just misses the shot to the right. Bad pass by Paganella. Should have been a little bit more aware of where to pass that puck around, and Phil Field had an opportunity to tie that game there. Lussman on the move. Looking to set this one out to Nader. Nader lost control of the puck. This one's going to slide back to Paganella. Will fire the shot himself, and Herman's going to stop this one for the save. Thomas and Armstrong on the face-off. This one comes back over to Rapar taking the shot. This one's going to come around to Armstrong the other way. Pass Bell. It's going to slide all the way back. Herman's going to signal for the icing call. 2:36 remaining, and again, Red Army still looking for that tying goal. Jim Thomas and Neil Armstrong on the face-off. Back over the other way, it's Giacomin with the puck. Stripped loose by Thomas. From foul ball. Away from Giacomin, back to DeMeza. And Lightning Lou is looking to make this one unhappen here, just around Armstrong. Herman signaling for the icing call. He's just going to get on the puck for the save. Nice bounce there for Armstrong. Nice bounce for Armstrong. You mean nice bounce for Herman. Armstrong was completely off on the other side. And he will be taking the face off against Jim Thomas. This one around to Ricci. Gets this one off the boards to DeMeza. Here comes Jim Thomas the other way. Only Giacomin back as a defender. Thomas will fire the shot himself. Bounces through. Jim Becker looking to finish. Couldn't get the shot off. Ricci sets up to Thomas. Looking to finish to Jim Becker. Misses again. Back to Demeza, trying to clear it out the other way, giving the Grey Wolves an opportunity, and he's got Mitch Starr. Or at least had an opportunity to get to Mitch Starr, just out of his reach now. Rapar will take the puck. Demeza knocks it forward. Back around to Rapar again. Grey Wolves at the skate back for the puck. Here's Giacomin, 1:16 to go in the first. Off the boards, gets the pass out to Starr. Off the boards again. But still bouncing forward in favor for the Grey Wolves. Now it's going to be taken by Greg Bell. Looking to get this one to a wide open Tom Buchholz. He reaches it, but now looks to try to get out to Becker. Not even close as Giacomin picks up on the puck instead. Back over to Demeza. Working off of Jim Thomas. Bouncing puck, makes a nice spin move. Still alive for the Grey Wolves. Will fire the shot. And just misses around to the right. Looking to take the shot off the deep slot. And now Mark Walker will take this one himself. Paganella trying to keep this one alive. Quicko will take his time. Gets his pass off the boards. Looking for Phil Fields. Got him. Looks to set up to Larry Liebler. Liebler, big opportunity here. Will fire the shot. This one goes through Strader and into the net. And the Red Army have officially tied this game up with 22 seconds left in the opening period. Well, at least give credit, you know, Grey Wolves did everything they could, at least in this first period, to try to hold them off. But the Red Army, it took them a whole period to try to tie this game up. Whereas for the Grey Wolves, it only took them 1 minute to get 2 goals. So, you know, maybe if the Grey Wolves get another minute where they can score multiple goals in, it could be anyone's game. Quicko gets the pass off to Walker, finds Phil Field. No, out of his reach. Now back over to Paganella. 12 seconds to go. Paganella's going to take his time. And Paganella's just going to hold on to the puck. And that's going to do it for the first period. Everybody's going to skate around, just going to let the clock run out. So into the first intermission, how about this? What a wacky first period we've seen. Grey Wolves coming out, firing on all cylinders within 30 seconds to get 2 goals on the board. And then for the Red Army, it took them the rest of the entire first period just to be on par with the Grey Wolf team that looks to be resurgent, and they don't look like the winless Grey Wolves anymore. Well, at the same time, Angelo, maybe this is where the Grey Wolves finally get their act together. Maybe they finally have things clicking for them and realize that they have to make a few adjustments, and this is where it is right now between their 8 players and a full squadded Red Army team. First intermission, we are tied at 2 here. Don't go away. We have a couple more exciting periods to you to broadcast. We'll be right back. This is Over 50 Hockey on the Pontola Broadcasting Network. Just about ready to begin the second period. John Madalena just checking in now at right wing. As Nader and Liebler go at it on the face-off. This puck's going to get over to George Butler. Butler's going to get out to Greg Bell. And Madalena's going to get this one dumped out into the Grey Wolf end. This one coming back around over to Giacomin. Big opportunity here for Falbo, and his shot on net just misses to the left. This puck's going to slide back over to Greg Bell. Bell looking to get the pass back to his head. It's taken away by Lutzman, and he's got Nader to work with. Lutzman fires the shot. This one gets through. No, almost had an opportunity to get through. Nader could have finished there, but Herman was able to knock it off just at the right angle. And there's going to be an offsides call. Both teams changed their lines at the moment. Meza looking to set it around over from Paganella, now out to Jim Thomas. Thomas on the move looking for Becker. This one just out of his reach. We're going to set it back around to Paganella. Off the boards looking for Nader, just out of his reach. Thomas bringing it back into the Red Army possession the other way. Here comes Jim Becker. Looks to set up, intercepted by Barry. No, tipped away by Barry. Now an opportunity for Rapar to take the shot. Just misses outside of Strader. Third opportunity for the Red Army. Ricci trying to get the pass out to Becker, but DeMezzo looking to get this one cleared out. Now from Starr out to Mark Berry, and this one's going to get cleared out. From Greg Bell, Jim Thomas getting the right bounce off now from Becker, out to Mike Ricci, back into the Grey Wolves zone again, but instead knocked out by DeMezzo. Out towards Ricci, now taken away by Jim Thomas again. Back over to Ricci, firing the shot. This is going to come back around the other way now from Ricci. And this puck's going to get back out to DeMezzo. Deflected off at Jim Thomas. Here comes Neil Armstrong again. The Stallion looking for his second goal. We'll head up to towards the deep slot, looking off of Greg Bell, and it's going to be taken away by Buchholz instead. Again, you got to love the hustle and effort by Neil Armstrong. That is what's keeping the Grey Wolves in check right now. But at the same time now, with their position, they're going to need to come back and help. And an icing call's been made. Puck comes out to Liebler. Giacomin fires a shot, and it is saved by Herman. And now it looks like George Butler is going to be coming in for Mitch Starr. One rookie for another. Face-off taken, Phil Field trying to get this one moved out the other way, but Giacomin will keep it in play in the Red Army zone. And now Liebler's going to find an open Buchholz, and here comes Buchholz the other way, only Paganella back. We'll flip this one out the other way, looking for Phil Field. Says back around over to Liebler. We'll fire the shot, deflected off a straighter. Phil Field looking for a rebound opportunity. Butler trying to clear this one out, but Walker keeps it in play for the Red Army. Says back over to Quicko. Buchholz now back over to Liebler again, looking to flip this one around the other way. Couldn't get the right bounce into the net. Now back over to Buchholz again. Red Army try once more. And bouncing puck gets away from Liebler, and the Grey Wolves will take over. Here comes Paganella. He's on the move the other way, making some noise in the Red Army zone. Double covered by Red Army players. Now Armstrong's going to pick up the slack. Back over to Butler. Looks to set up the other way. Giacomin now finds Armstrong. Armstrong looking for options, finds DeMezzo. Will fire the shot himself, bounces off of Herman. Grey Wolves looking to retake that lead. Off the boards now, out to Giacomin. And Madalena will get to the puck. And he'll get this one cleared out. Puck back over to Lussman. Gets the pass out to Giacomin. DeMezzo will take this one himself. Stripped loose by Jim Thomas. Look out. We'll fire the shot. Strader kicks it away. And this one will be cleared out. Now back over to Quicko. 7.5 minutes remaining. Quicko getting it back out to Falbo. Intercepted, correction, by Ira Lussman. Now back over to Jeff Quicko. And Thomas will try to get this one cleared out. Paganella flips this one high. Now an opportunity for Mark Berry to get to the puck, but Herman's going to signal for the icing call. No, it's not going to be given. No, it will be given. Delayed whistle there by the referee. I've got to be a little bit more careful because it looked like there could have been a major collision had he taken any longer. Yeah, right there for the referee. They need to be a little bit more aware that it can get a little bit competitive when, especially Mark Berry's trying to look for an opportunity. Nader and Thomas on the face-off. This one goes back around the other way. DeMezzo off the boards. And Lightning Lou's going to take this one himself. He passes it to himself, gets the right bounce off he needs. And his pass to Mark Berry, knocked away by the Red Army. Now back over to Thomas. Finds a wide open Mike Ricci. No, there was Paganella there, but now it's one-on-one. Paganella knocked off the puck by Mike Ricci. Here comes Jim Becker. Look out, fires a shot. Strader knocks it out. Now back over to Paganella the other way. Taken by Bell. Finds Rapar. Looks for Becker just out of his reach. Now off to Steve Paganella. Backwards pass fired. Paganella's redemption comes true as he gets this one cleared out. Now it's Rapar struggling to keep the puck in play for the Red Army. Now comes Jim Thomas working one-on-one against Paganella. Makes a shot, will fire through again. Just knocked around the other way. Becker trying to keep it alive for the Red Army. You can tell that Paganella was set up for Jim Thomas to fire the shot, but that's one of the other reasons about Jim Thomas you gotta love is as soon as you think he's gonna wind up for the shot, he has that quick mobility to try to get this one out, and again, you couldn't be any more happier for him. Ricci now back over to Becker. Sets up to Thomas, knocked away. Berry. From Rapar over to Thomas. And Mark Berry whiffed pass, but gets it out from Giacomin, now sets up to Nader. Nader setting up to Giacomin, fires through and it's in! Grey Wolves retake the lead. And the duo effort of Rick Nader and Mark Giacomin comes through for the Grey Wolves as they retake the lead with 5:34 to go. And now the Red Army will have to climb a hill. Again, you almost thought for a second there because Nader and Giacomin were just all over the place. You thought it might have been a disorganized shot opportunity, but they were able to come back together, and with the right precision passing, they get it past Herman into the net, and now the Grey Wolves have another lead to live for. Walker's pass off the boards to Buckholz, and he will just dump it into the Grey Wolf end. Paganella working off of Phil Field, trying to get this one out. Picked up by Mark Walker. Will fire the shot, and it is saved by Strader.
That's like 500 pounds. Hi, Jeff. We like your commercials. No, not really. Hey, Bucky, you're hot. We want to see your receptionist, not you.
Puck is going to slide all the way back into the Red Army zone, deep in the Red Army zone at that, and Mark Walker's going to take it himself. Pass off the boards, gets it out to Liebler, barely gets it through him. Armstrong now trying to catch up. George Butler trying to keep things alive. Now back over to Liebler again. Will fire the shot, gets through and it's in! It is in! Unbelievable. Larry Liebler fires the shot. Buckholz was shielding Strader. I'm not exactly sure if the Grey Wolves are going to argue an interference call by any means, but I don't think Strader was even aware of what happened, and Liebler must have got the puck by, and Strader didn't feel a thing. And just like that, this game is tied at 3. And again, now with the way these two teams are playing, it could get really heated heading into the third period. And George Butler will get this one cleared out. DeMeza with the puck. He'll be working off of Madalini. DeMeza's pass now from George Butler to Lustin, looking for Armstrong. Deflected back by Rapar. DeMeza's pass, he finds Armstrong, now looking to get off the board. Rapar will hold off Armstrong from the puck. This one's going to slide back into the Grey Wolf end for the icing call. Nader and Thomas on the face-off. This one's going to come back over to DeMeza. And the puck is going to slide all the way back. Strader signaling for another icing call. Take 2 on the face-off. Puck firing back over to DeMezza, looking to set up to Giacomin. Madalena gets a piece of it, and here comes Jim Thomas one-on-one, and coming up is foul ball. Shot fired now. Madalena trying to set up the other way. No one there to finish. Now it comes up to Rapar. And referee looks like he's about to signal a penalty. Looks like it was on Lou DeMezza for throwing a stick out to Jim Thomas, and that could be dangerous. Makes a move around DeMezza. Looking to finish through the other way. No one's there. Now it's Jim Becker winding up for the shot, deflected by Buchholz. Buchholz with the puck. Now over to Becker again for the rebound shot. This one goes high. This one off the boards. Buchholz trying to keep play alive. Taking the shot through. Now back over to Phil Field, looking to set up, and play will ultimately halt. And DeMezza is going to get nailed for the tripping call. I'm not exactly sure what happened. I didn't know exactly if DeMezza threw his stick at Thomas to trip him up, or if the force of Jim Thomas caused DeMezza to lose control of the stick as he was being tripped upon. But either way, it is a penalty for the Grey Wolves. The yellow card issued to Lou DeMezza. And now an opportunity for the Red Army to take the lead for the first time in this game. Shot taken is now off to Ricci, deflected off by Schrader. Puck back over to Quicko. Setting up to Liebler. Back over to Walker, now finds Quicko. Will fire the shot right into Neil Armstrong, and he'll get this one cleared out. Puck will be fed out to Mark Walker. Intercepted by Nader. Red Army have to be a little bit smarter with this power play here. They have an opportunity to take the lead, and right now they really haven't been doing anything with it. Paganello with the puck, he'll get it cleared out once more. More time being wasted off the clock, and just in 2 clearances, the Grey Wolves killed off half of this penalty already. And that is what you consider to be amazing for this Grey Wolves. They know how to kill it off as long as there's not a lot of defensive effort. Ricci's pass deflected by Paganello, looking to get this one around Armstrong once more, and here they go. Walker trying to get back to the puck, but here comes Nader and the Grey Wolves. Armstrong trying to finish through. Herman kicks it out. Armstrong trying to finish again. Will finish through, and it's in! It's in! Neil Armstrong finally gets his second goal, and on a short-handed opportunity, the Grey Wolves retake the lead. And that is for a situation for the Red Army that things go from bad to worse here. You know, now with the retaking of the lead, you would think the Red Army with their power play, they would have actually been able to work together to get something happen. But then a bad pass, Mark Walker could not get a hold on the puck, and now Rick Nader and Neil Armstrong chasing through the puck, and that is a huge goal for this Grey Wolf team that's looking to try to get their first win. Referee will relocate the puck. 25 seconds to remain on DeMezza's penalty. Now the Red Army will look to try to make up for it. Puck back over to Rapar. Buchholz trying to get a hold on it, held up by Paganello. Here comes Thomas. That's it, back over to Field. Field firing the shot. Thomas regroups. And this puck is going to slide all the way back. And that is going to officially kill off the penalty. Lou DeMezza back on the ice as Greg Bell gets the pass out to Phil Field. And Phil Field's pass looking for Jim Thomas, but instead it's going to be intercepted by DeMezza. Greg Bell Looks to get this pass to Neil Armstrong, just too high for him. 43 seconds remain. Phil Field gets his pass off the board, trying to get this one out to Buchholz. Just out of his reach, and now comes back over to Paganella. This pass, firing shot all the way out to Armstrong. We'll look to get this pass out to Lussman, deflected the other way. Lussman will regroup. Can't reach Starr, now back over to Phil Field. To Jim Thomas, 18 seconds to go. Looks to get the pass out to Falbo. This is Nader. 2 seconds to go. Nader fires the shot. This one goes in! It goes in! Rick Nader with the buzzer beater! You gotta be kidding me! How did that shot just happen? From the outside shot there. And Lonnie Herman gets destroyed in the past 2 minutes. What is going on with this Red Army team?
Well, I can't answer that either, Angelo. You know, you have to be aware at all times. And again, like we said before, the Grey Wolves are rejuvenated here. It is official. From what has been a close, tied-up game right now, the Grey Wolves were able to get not only just that short-handed goal by Neil Armstrong and Rick Nader, but then that outside shot by Nader himself to just get the right shot off and right in the angle. That really deflates the Red Army team right now. And now they got to figure out a way to come up in 12 minutes to get those 2 goals back. And if they can't, again, the Grey Wolves just might have won it though in those last 2 minutes right there of the second period. We'll see. Rick Nader from the outside shot again. Just took a shot for dear life. Hits the post gives it the right angle to bounce off the other way. Lonnie Herman trying to control it. And he couldn't kick the puck away in time. And now into second intermission, instead of a 4-3 Grey Wolves lead, they have a 5-3 lead heading into second intermission. So we'll see how the Red Army can respond to this. When we return, this is Over 50 Hockey on the Pontello Broadcasting Network. Start of the third and final period here. Rick Nader will take the face-off against Liebler. Shot deflected. Here comes Lussman. Quicko trying to control the puck, trying to hold up Butler. Quicko regains his balance and he's on the move the other way. Quicko trying to take this one himself. Got knocked off the puck by Lussman, now back over to DeMezza. Off the boards now from George Butler. Gets it out to Nader, and he's got Lussman and DeMezza to work with. Rick Nader looking for DeMezza the other way. Madalena gets a piece of the puck, now comes Giacomin. Giacomin will take this one himself. Held up by Liebler at the time. Now puck gets around over to Ricci. Finds an open Liebler. Only Lussman back. Ricci looking to set up. Liebler will take the shot, fires through, and the Red Army will cut the deficit to 1 again. Now in a situation like that, that was all Arnie Strader right there. He should have had a control on that puck, but unfortunately, you know, Liebler had the right step on him and made the nice goal. And so now the Red Army, again, they're looking to try to tie this game up again, and lots of time is here. So we have ourselves an exciting finish coming up on our hands. But now for the Red Army, it's now looking to try to make up for that buzzer beater goal set up by Rick Nader to try to get back in the game. Shot gets flipped high. Finds Becker. Deflected right through Armstrong. Will fire the shot. Ricci trying to knock it in. From Mark Berry. Finds Mitch Starr. Starr looking for an open Neil Armstrong. will fire the shot himself. Becker double covered by Mark Berry. And it will be a glove hand save by Lonnie Herman. 9:45 in this game. Red Army trailing by 1 against the Grey Wolf team again, seeking their first win of the season, and they're doing everything they can now to hold on to this lead. Jim Thomas bursts right through the Meza, now looking to get around Paganella, but we'll have to regroup. And Jim Thomas will be knocked down by Demeza. Here comes Phil Field. We'll fire the shot. This one gets flipped high. Field for the setup, knocked away. This one comes back around. Jim Thomas looking to make a move around Armstrong, but the Stallion was not phased that time, and he'll get the pass out to an open Mitch Starr. Starr takes the shot just left of the net. Now Thomas will regroup. Puck back over to Armstrong, now to Demeza. Getting this one knocked back in the Red Army end. Here comes Greg Bell. Shot taken. Here comes Buchholz. Off the boards. Now looks for Liebler. Gets around Butler. Liebler looking to finish just out of the reach of Arnie Strader. Puck out to Field. We'll get this pass back over to Bell. Off the boards. Back to Phil Field. Takes a shot deflected by Paganella. Back over to Phil Field again. Intercepted by Nader. And Nader's going to find George Butler, or try to anyways, and Greg Bell's going to knock it back. Demeza off the boards. It's going to come back around over to Greg Bell. Off the boards again. Stopped by George Butler. Puck knocked back. It's now Falbo versus Giacomin to get to the puck, and Giacomin wins on out. 8 minutes remaining. Giacomin gets his pass out to Lussman. Taken by Falbo, back over to Liebler. Back to Falbo again. We'll fire the shot, kicked away by Strader. Madalena trying to keep the play alive for the Red Army, but now it's going to be taken away by Demeza. Gets through 2 Red Army players, only 2 defenders back. Demeza fires the shot, knocked away by Herman. Demeza regroups, looking to set up to Nader again. Shot deflected by Walker, back over to Larry Liebler. In his own end, now looking to try to move this puck up. And it gets past Falbo, back over to Giacomin. And he will slide this one out towards Demeza. Taken away now by Liebler, big opportunity. Liebler fires the shot, kicked away by Giacomin. Puck trying to set up, Falbo trying to get a hold on it. He'll be held up by Lussman. And Lussman comes away on the puck. And Quicko will pin Lussman to the boards. Nader works around Liebler. Big opportunity here, fires the shot, and Lonnie Herman is there for the save.
Oh, you got enough guys. You got what you want next time. Hey, Giacomo! Watch out for that ref.
Quicko with the puck. Gets around to Ricci now from Paganella. Taken away, here comes Ricci. With open room, looks to get this one out to Jim Thomas. Thomas trying to get around Paganella, but Paganella was in the right place at the right time. Strips it loose, now back over to Paganella. Taken away by Jim Becker, looking to set up to Thomas! And they get the tied goal! A bad pass for the Grey Wolves. Oh my goodness, and Steve Paganella really wishes he had that pass back now. Yeah, Paganella thought he was passing it to a Grey Wolf player at the time. Got fooled there, right on Jim Becker. A stick, and then back over past to Thomas. And we have ourselves a tie game now. 6.5 minutes remaining. It's back neck and neck. And with that, the Grey Wolves are going to call a timeout. They need to try to figure out what in the world is going on. But for the Red Army, they got the job done in... 5.5 minutes. They get the 2-goal deficit back on par. And now it's a timeout to try to figure out what the Grey Wolves want to do next. 6:32 to go in the third period. We're all tied up here at 5 here at the Ice Sports Forum. This is Over 50 Hockey on the Pontello Broadcasting Network. And Jim Thomas will take the face-off against Neil Armstrong. Puck fires back, and at this point, this is a new game. Puck off the glass. DeMezza looking to get this one up to Armstrong. He's on the move the other way. He will take this one himself. Looks to come back around the other way. Fires the shot just left outside of Lonnie Herman. And now Jim Thomas will move this one the other way. Gets it off to Mike Ricci. Intercepted by Paganella. And the Grey Wolves are going to be firing on all cylinders again. Quick goes pass. Intercepted by Paganella. Quicko gets to the puck. This one comes back around all the way out to DeMezza. And we'll look to get this pass out to Armstrong, just out of his reach. And this one out to Quicko, off of Becker. Ricci coming after Armstrong. Back over to Giacomin. Sets it back over to Armstrong. Back to Giacomin. Off the boards, getting a piece of it's Jim Thomas. Puck back around over to Ricci. Sets it to Thomas. Back over to Ricci, fires a shot! And for the first time this game, Mike Ricci puts the Red Army on top with 5:16 to go. Well, when the Red Army tie the goal, again, I meant to say this earlier in our previous assessment, but again, I still disagree with why in the world the Grey Wolves called a timeout when they got scored upon for that tying goal. You know, that should have been an opportunity for them that they realized what they needed to do. But still a questionable timeout either way. But that timeout actually gives the Red Army more juice and more energy to try to regroup and figure out how they're going to take the lead. And sure enough, after they tied that goal, they were dead gas, mind you. And then that timeout gave them all the energy that they needed. Puck taken now by Rapar. Intercepted by Butler. Back over to Giacomin. Greg Bell off the boards. Gets it out to Phil Field. 4.5 minutes remaining, and for the first time this game, the Grey Wolves see themselves on the deficit side as the puck gets knocked out of the rink. But again, Angelo, with 4:20 to go and the way this Grey Wolf team has been playing, I still see them very capable of getting the tying goal. But it's going to have to come from the likes of having Neil Armstrong, Lou DeMezza, Rick Nader, Mark Giacomin, and Paganella all on the same line. And then that sixth man is whoever you deem him to be. But you need to have the likes of, again, Armstrong, Paganella, Giacomin, DeMezza, and Nader all on the same line for when it comes for the sixth man. Liebler will fire the shot, deflected shot, this one goes through! And this shot goes through, and that is such a heart crusher there for the Grey Wolves with 4:07 to go, and the Red Army now come back with 4 unanswered goals from when it was a 5-3 lead for the Grey Wolves heading into the third period. The Red Army, out of nowhere, come up with 4 unanswered goals, and now with 4:07 to go, the Grey Wolves will need to try to figure out how to score 2 goals if they're looking to keep this game alive. From Paganella, back over to Giacomin. This one comes back around over to Jim Thomas. This one comes back around the other way. Giacomin on the move. Working off a foul ball. We'll dump this one in the Red Army end. Deflected by Giacomin. Taken away now by Greg Bell. Greg Bell still with the puck. He's still alive. Finds Ricci. Looking to finish. Takes a shot, and that's probably going to do it there. That will ice the game with 3:15 to go. And Mike Ricci and company have now tied the record for most goals scored in one period with 5. Now I gotta say, Andy, I am absolutely shocked. From a Grey Wolf team that looked like they had everything under control with a 5-3 lead, and this Red Army team just bolts out of nowhere, and now all of a sudden just that momentum, that what could have been an opportunity for the Grey Wolves to go on top, now turns into the Red Army having a goal-scoring fiesta in this third period. And Herman will now signal for the icing call. And it looks like Time Boy's going to keep the clock running on this one. Puck coming back over to Quicko. Nader fires the shot, deflected away by Herman. Mark Walker regroups for the Red Army. Puck back over to Jim Thomas. Buckholz will hang on to the puck. Back over the field. No, taken away by Demeza. Stripped loose by Thomas. Gets around Lussman. And Lussman just shoves Thomas almost into the bench. Kind of a little questionable there at this point. But right now the game's pretty much decided. So the last thing for anybody to do at this point is to try to make questionable motives and make questionable moves that could cause a big time riot. Puck deflected by Giacomin into the Red Army bench with 1:55 to go in the game. Fires back over to Rapar looking for some options. Stopped by Giacomin. Gets it out to Greg Bell. This was going to come all the way back into the Grey Wolf zone. Back over to Giacomin. Looks for Mark Berry just out of his reach. This one coming back over to Stahl. Will fire the shot. Rapar's going to feed this one up to Liebler as this one slips and falls. This one taken away by Demeza. Puck now back over to Liebler. Looking to set up Falbo, trying to get his shot in. 50 seconds to go. Demeza hangs on to the puck for the Grey Wolves. Madalena is just going to go ahead and dump this one out. And Strader's going to fall on this puck for the save. And they're going to just go ahead and let this clock run out. And the players are going to end it on that note. Everybody coming out of their benches. But it is going to be official at this point. The final score in this one. Red Army 8, Grey Wolves 5. In what we thought was going to be the Grey Wolves turnaround. But on the bright side, you have to look at it this way. With the 8 players that the Grey Wolves had, they made progress. There was a lot of progress made in this game here today. And with the way they're playing, they are not like the Red Army team from last year. I definitely see them winning a couple of games heading into the tournament in July. Red Army will improve to 4-1, and they will officially have first place again in the over 50 standings, heading into their matchup against the Green Hornets into next week. And of course, the Grey Wolves will have their hands full with a Yellow Jacket team led by Angelo Pontello into next week's game. But now it's just kind of looking at, you know, what the Grey Wolves need to do now, because again, they have everything on target, but then there's only so much they can do with the likes and the defensive efforts that they have. So, you know, again, looking at the highlights, they started this game off probably with one of the best starts ever in over 50 hockey history. 2 goals in the first minute of this game, and that, you can't put a price tag on that. That's just probably the best start ever. And then of course into the end of the second period to lead 5-3 with a quick goal made by, I believe it was Armstrong, to get the second goal, and then it was Rick Nader from an outside shot to make it 5-3. That's progress in my book. So expect this Grey Wolf team to start winning, you know, a couple more games in the near future. This has been another production of the Pontello Broadcasting Network, and of course we'd like to invite you all back again next week. Again, Red Army take on the Green Hornets. Grey Wolves will have their bout with the Yellow Jackets. And after that game, that will officially bring us to mid-season. Just like that. So we'll see how the rest plays out. But here at the Ice Sports Forum, I'm Angelo Pontello saying so long, good night, and we hope everybody has a blessed evening. Take care, everyone.